Hello and happy Sunday. This is Kelly with IfYouHaveAnEgg.com, and today is Sunday, November the 17th. We are sliding on into Turkey Day. It's going to be here before you know it, but I hope everybody had a great week. We have had fantastic weather again here this week. Karen and I got in a walk. Casey and I got in a walk. Karen and I got in a walk. Everybody's walking. We're going to talk about that here in just a little bit, but I hope y'all did have a fantastic week. I didn't hear about any weird weather, so hopefully everybody's doing a-okay. But again, we are sliding into turkey time, sliding into that three for holiday season. And hello, Mary Ann, hello to you. And I've been warning all of our customers here at Casey Kitchen Center about that. I'm like, you know, guys, we're getting ready to have back-to-back holidays. So whether you celebrate Christmas or not, you got some stuff going on. And hello, Marlene. Hello, Katie. Happy Sunday. So yeah, so we're getting into that three for really quickly. And hello, Trish. Good to see you. Hello, Sarah from Raleigh, Massachusetts. Hey, if you are brand new, let us know because we would love to welcome you. We would love to say hi and hello. And if you're watching this later on YouTube, that's just youtube.com. Search If You Have an Egg. Hello, Carol Lou. Go ahead and say hello over there too. Everyone has gone eerily quiet on YouTube. And I don't understand why, but like barely anybody is chit-chatting on YouTube. And I would love it if you all would do that. And hello, John from home base. John is just guarding what so he is at home tonight, guarding what I have left over for dinner. I'm just kidding. But I'm super excited to get home and eat it. It's a little bit of leftovers. And hello, Elaine. Hello, Lynn. Good to see you. So again, welcome everybody. Hello, Sherry from Cape Coral, Florida. And hello, Catherine from Lowell, North Carolina. So I hope y'all are having a great week so far. We're going to have a little bit of a countdown to Thanksgiving. I'm tonight not going to be making any food because I've got something super exciting to talk about in the second half. A lot of you asked what was going to be going on in the second half, and a couple of you who actually know me, who are personal friends of mine, and hello, Vicky, tried to extract a little bit of information from me. I didn't give out too much information, but yeah, so we're going to talk about all of that in the second half, so you have to stay tuned. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you absolutely have to stay tuned because you're going to want to hear what I'm talking about in the second half. Okay, a little bit of news for the first part of our chat. Today is the beginning of the, I'm just going to call it Turn Over That Turkey challenge over in the If You Have an Egg Facebook group. And hello, Sandra from Demons Ferry. So Julie hosts a Julie hosts a challenge over in the If You Have an Egg Facebook group every week. And last week it was a water challenge. So drink your water and don't stop. This week, I don't think it actually had a name, but every day this week, Julie is going to post something that you could get called upon. So if the turkey hotline calls you, if somebody from the turkey hotline calls you and says, hey, Sandra, I'll pick on Sandra because she was the last person to hop on. Hey, Sandra, we're going to need you to bring X, Y, or Z to Thanksgiving this holiday. Then hello, Carol Ann, then Julie and all the rest of us want to hear how you would lighten it up, how you would make it a little bit skinnier, how you might save some points on that, or how you might bring a different dish. And if it's a recipe that you found somewhere else, she would love for you to tag where you found that recipe, whether it was on the Weight Watchers app, if it was on somebody's website, if it was in a recipe in a magazine or whatever. But I'm calling it Turn Over That Turkey. I don't know what Julie's calling it, but every day this week. And so like today, the turkey hotline called and said, Julie, we need you to bring some kind of dip. So on today's, if you scoot over there after we get done tonight, and that's in the If You Have an Egg Facebook group. And hello, Roberta. If you are not a member of that group already, one of our lovely ladies will post the link here in a little bit. I feel confident, and you can hop on over there after the chat and you can go ahead and chime in. So today was, turkey hotline calling, Julie, we need you to bring some kind of a dip. So get your dip ideas on over there. And there is Julie right now. Julie, we were just talking about your challenge for this week, and I didn't know what you called it, so I called it Turn Over That Turkey. You can call it whatever you want to, but I was just telling them that, if the turkey hotline calls and says, Julie, we need you to bring dip, that they need to scoot on over there and post whatever their favorite lower point dip is. And you're going to be doing that every single day. So that'll be super fun this week. Cannot wait to see what everybody's responses are. I'm thinking that we're going to get a lot of good ideas. Okay, second bit of news is I need to know who can get over to Costco. Who's going to go over to Costco this week here in Knoxville. I don't have a Costco card anymore. Who has headed to Costco to get me some of those honey nut squash? So that the honey nut squash that Carol Lou got last week, I need somebody to go to Costco and get me some of those. I am dying to try them. Maybe that could be something that we try next week here live. If someone will go to Costco and get them for me. Again, don't have a Costco card. Just need somebody to scoot over there and pick them up for me. I'll be happy to pay you back for them, but I need those in my life. Ooh, spoiler alert. Julie says tomorrow's turkey call, tomorrow's turn over that turkey hotline is going to be calling all of you all and telling you have to you're in charge of bringing an appetizer. So just so you can think ahead, that's what it's going to be tomorrow. Ooh, and Julie says I might be able to get them at Trader Joe's. Okay, I'll have to go check that out if I get an extra 5 minutes this week. And the last little bit of news for this week. So, y'all know I'm suddenly addicted to the Smart Food array of products. I haven't found one yet that well, I'll take it back. I did find one that I didn't like. I like spicy stuff, but the one that was like red hot, whatever, it was a little bit much. Yeah, I did not like that one, but so far I have loved all of the other flavors. Last week we tried the seasonal favorite because Casey took me to Sam's, Sam's did not have the, what are they called again? Honey nut squash. So just so you know, I couldn't get those. But last week we tried the Smart Food Snickerdoodle popcorn, and I liked it a lot. Alyssa said it was okay. Casey really didn't like it. Hello, Joycelyn from California. Casey wasn't a fan. So she loves like Snickerdoodle cookies. I want to say are in her top 2 favorite cookies. She can correct me later, but I loved them. I loved it. Alyssa just thought it was okay. Casey wasn't a big fan. So you'll have to figure that out for yourself. But this last little bit of news before we actually get on to what we're supposed to be talking about is that today at Kroger, as if I needed another Smart Food flavor to be in love with, I found this one. Another seasonal, but look, chocolate cake pop. What on earth? Good news, it's a small bag. Better news, it's seasonal, so you can't get into too much trouble. There are 7 servings in this. Bad news, a serving is a cup, but good news, that means you can only get in trouble 7 times with this. So maybe you could share with a friend. We're getting ready to try it. 1 cup is, let me see, I wrote it down here somewhere, 6 points. It's a little steep, so 6 points for 1 cup of this. I'm hoping it's going to be all that and a bag of chips, or all that and a bag of popcorn. So let's try this real quick before we continue on with our chat. So again, these are the Smart Foods. I know, oh my gosh. Sorry, I'm having a little moment. Oh my gosh, that smell is fantastic. So for 1 cup, and all the rest of them have been like 2.5 to 3 cups. So for 1 cup of this one, so the more decadent you get, I guess, you know, the lower the amount for more points, but that's okay because it's a holiday treat. This is not food for eating every day. This is a holiday treat. 1 cup is 140 calories, 6 grams of fat, almost no saturated fat, 0 cholesterol, 65 milligrams of sodium, so not bad. 20 carbohydrates, less than 1 gram of fiber, total sugars 12, protein less than 1. Wasn't really expecting that to be that. Okay, I know Sarah. Sarah says too many points to part with for 1 cup for her. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. Okay, let's see how this one is. Pretty good. Let me put a couple in there just to see. That's pretty good. I don't know that it's worth 6 points for a cup. That's pretty good for a seasonal treat. Wait, hold on, Sherry. What? Carrots are bad. What does that mean? What does that mean that carrots are bad? So Sherry says that she heard that carrots are bad even at Trader Joe's, and somebody fact check her. Okay, so this is the Smart Foods Very seasonal. You can see that we've got, you know, some ribbon and things here. Very seasonal. Chocolate cake pop. 1 cup is 6 smart points. I'm going to say probably skip this one. So it's good. It's good. I'll be sharing it. But this wasn't the wow I was expecting for 6 smart points. So, okay, maybe you can take that one off your list. So, just that information right there might be worth the price of admission, which was free. So, it means it wasn't really worth anything. Just kidding. Okay, so, last week was chat 368. And, E. coli. Oh, hold on a second. It's not really chocolatey, Sarah. I was really expecting it to be chocolatey, and it really isn't. So last week was chat number 388, and y'all were diligently getting ready for Thanksgiving. So as we start getting closer and closer and closer to this 3 Whopper holiday, who sat their bottom in a chair? So let me see some thumbs ups for that. And sadly, y'all, I'm seeing that y'all say E. coli. Okay, well, I did not see any carrot recalls today, so I'll have to check that out for y'all for next week. But thumbs ups for sitting your bottom in a chair this week. Or, yeah, it's not worth the point, Sarah. It's not worth the point. So, yeah, I was happy to take one for the team and try 2 of them for you. So, I did look it up. I did go ahead and track 1/8 of a cup. So, 1/8 of a cup was 1 point. Yeah, that's probably where I'd stop. But anyway, so thumbs ups for in-person workshops. And yes, Anne, I did see your sweet, shining little face. Or for going to a Zoom workshop, and some hearts for being here with us live last week, or for watching later on demand. And yes, and there's Marianne and Lynn. So lots and lots of you all. Okay, bravo stickers to everyone who went to their in-person workshops last weekend, or did a virtual workshop, or that you were here with us. So good job, everybody. We were talking last week about things that you can control and things that you can't control. And is there anything you can do about the things that you can't control? So we talked about things like, you know, if the meal's going to be at your house, you've got some control over that. You could take a dish. If it's at somebody else's house and you don't have control over the meal, you could take a dish. There are some things you can do. You don't have to be completely out of control. So even if you don't feel like you have a lot of control over Thanksgiving or another holiday coming up, you don't have to be, oh, woe is me, completely out of control. So there are some things that you can do. You can figure out some ways to, you know, to just be in a little more control, or you can trust that it's gonna work out. That if you control what you can control and let the rest of it go, and don't lose your mind, that you can trust, okay? And so last week our homework was #TurkeyTrustFall, and we were just gonna have to trust, you know, and fall and be caught that some of these things were just going to work out. So last week, here are a couple of things that you all did. Carol Lou and her hubby are going to eat out this year. So it's just them for Thanksgiving this year. And they've decided to go to a buffet and just try a little bit of everything. So they can have a little bit of dressing. They can have a little bit of, you know, maybe some turkey and gravy. They can have a little bit of ham. I don't know what they're going to eat. But going to a buffet will allow them to try a little bit of all of their holiday favorites. But for at home, she's just going to get a small turkey and cook it so that they can have some of those kind of turkey leftovers, make some, you know, some turkey sandwiches or maybe a turkey casserole or some soup. She's going to keep the carcass and use it for broth. But because she is not bringing all of those other Thanksgiving delights into her home and making them, she just controlled her leftovers. Is that not an awesome and amazing idea? We've done that before out of necessity, had to go out somewhere else, you know, to eat. I hadn't really thought about that being a way that I could control the days after Thanksgiving. So she's doing a great job on that, but she is controlling all those other days. So Turkey Day, she's going to enjoy a little bit of everything, but she's controlling all those days that come after Thanksgiving, so she doesn't have to worry about those. I think that's a fantastic idea. Vicky is controlling her day by enjoying the food. She's just going to enjoy the day, but she's not letting the food be the main focus. I'm sure there's going to be family or friends involved. There's going to be lots of other things. So she is making the main focus all those other things that are going to happen on Turkey Day. Maybe it's the Macy's parade. Maybe it's getting ready for shopping. Maybe if, you know, I know she doesn't live here in Knoxville, but like people here in Knoxville, maybe you could be getting ready to go to Fantasy of Trees or something like that, and you can make it about all those other things. The food's great, but don't make it just about the food. And Julie, I said you were doing your homework for you because last week I did remember that you said that you would control some stress on the day of. So the day of whatever the event is, if it's Thanksgiving, if it's going to be a birthday party or whatever, you're going to help control some of that stress by working out in the morning before you head out for the celebrations and festivities. Fantastic idea. Go ahead and do it that morning. Those endorphins are going to be going and you're going to feel like making better choices because you've already made a better choice early in the day. So bravo, everyone who did your homework. Lots of great ideas, lots of things for me to think about. And I'm sure you all got, and hello, Orlando Debbie. I'm sure you all got lots of good ideas just listening to what everybody else was going to do. This week, though, Julie kind of led into it. But this week, though, we are going to be talking about stress. Stress? Who's under stress? We're just plummeting. Just kidding. Rolling downhill? Nope. Falling into? Nope. Getting ready for and preparing for 3 back-to-back holidays. Did you know, I'm sure you don't know this, but did you all know that stressed, spelled backwards, is desserts? So stressed is spelled S-T-R-E-S-S-E-D. If you flip that around, that spells desserts. Coincidence? I don't think so. According to, I got my paper flipped here. According to, well, we're not talking about desserts tonight, okay? We're not even making a dessert in the second half, but we are talking about stress during the holidays. So I'll look this up. According to Healthline, and I'm going to read this. So this is actual fact, from healthline.com. They say from a physiological standpoint, so that means something that's going on with your body that you don't have any control over. It's an actual physiological standpoint. Stress causes your adrenal glands to release a hormone called cortisol. And when cortisol, it's exactly right, Julie. And when cortisol is released, you may notice, it's a physiological change within your body. You may notice an increase in your appetite, but that increase in your appetite, when you've released cortisol in your system, almost always equals sugary, salty, fatty. It doesn't ever release carrots that have been recalled due to E. coli or broccoli or even a banana. So cortisol was it's that hormone that we had, way back in the day when we were all cavemen and women, when we were like, saber-toothed tiger. Cortisol was released, fight or flight, but it made you, kind of that survival mode. So still according to Healthline, they say, however, this urge to eat isn't the result of an empty stomach. So you don't have a desire to eat because you're actually hungry. Instead, it's your brain telling you to eat so you can prepare, aloha Kathy, so you can prepare for a potentially harmful situation. Typically, when the stress subsides, the cortisol level returns to baseline, okay? So back in the fight or flight, cortisol raised, got your brain got your body ready for, for running. But since we're not running away from saber-toothed tigers anymore, if you react to that cortisol while it's high and while it's fresh and while it's whatever, your brain is telling you, oh, you're going to need to eat soon. Or you're going to need to be running soon from that tiger. So eat some sugar. Or grab something, salty, or grab something fatty because you're going to have instant energy to run. You don't need that. So we've got to figure out a way to get that stress under control, kind of bring that cortisol level back down, because as soon as your cortisol level returns to baseline, that, kind of that craving for food, and again, you're not hungry. It's not something that you need. It's not even that you saw Smart Food chocolate cake pops and thought, ooh, I need some of that. It's not even that kind of hunger. It is something's getting ready to happen, even though it's really not, but something's getting ready to happen. You must eat for survival. You got to get that cortisol level down. Okay, so how do we do that? How do we kind of return to baseline? How do we get that cortisol level down when the stress is right there? And we've talked about it so many times. We've talked about stress being many times. We've talked about stress being right here. So it's like in your face. Stress, that kind of stress is never something that's wandering around, you know, over there. It's something that's right here. So it's somebody screaming, I have to have your attention right now. Or, you know, you forgot to pay the light bill, so the power's out. Or there's a, you know, your car just got a flat tire and you know, you're late for work, whatever it's, but it's stress right then, right now. It's this close in your face, and you got to figure out how to bring it back down. So, and hello, Sylvia. You have the answer. You have the answer for how to bring that cortisol level back down, get it back down to level. It's in the palm of your hand. So do you see it? Do you see what's here? Do we have any palm readers here? Do you see what's in my hand that's going to help me to bring my cortisol level back down? Anybody? Anybody? And if you were with Gwen Tuesday night, no blabbing. No blabbing the answer, girls, okay? So anything, do you see anything in the palm of my hand? Okay, if I turn it this way, instead, you have everything you need to calm yourself, to center yourself, to bring that cortisol level back down. You have it right here in the palm of your hand. So this isn't the first time. This will not be the last time. But Weight Watchers is asking us to remember a thing called 5, 4, 3. I can't even do the numbers. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's a technique. It's an exercise technique, just called 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is good for controlling any kind of stress. So it doesn't mean that if you had a flat tire, if you're stuck in traffic, let's do stuck in traffic because that's the one Gwen always brings up. So let's say you're stuck in traffic and your hands are clenched on the wheel and you're gritting your teeth and you're thinking, this is not happening. I'm going to be late. This happens every time that I leave at that time. I knew I had to leave by 4:30. Here I am stuck in traffic. So release your hand. You've got it all right there. That doesn't mean that the stressor is necessarily going to go away. You still might be stuck in traffic. This is just a way to just bring it down a notch, bring it down a notch, bring it down a notch so that that cortisol doesn't have you craving sugary, salty, or fatty foods. Okay. It's the same thing that a preschool teacher would do when they're reminding the littles to breathe. You know, so like when little kids are like, "Wah!" And sometimes they don't even know what they're screaming about, but they're just like, everything's, you know, whatever. I'm still new on this planet. I've only been here for 3 years. You know, everything's freaking me out. Teachers, preschool teachers will do something like, you know, like blow out a candle. They'll say like, you know, pretend like you're blowing out a candle. Or they'll have them take a little time out. Or they'll have them do something else, some other breathing something. It's really not so much about breathing. It's really not so much about what you're doing. It's more of putting a little distance. So remember when I was talking about the stressor being right here, right in your face? It's more about putting just a little bit of distance between yourself and the thing, whether it's Thanksgiving or seeing your family at Thanksgiving or whatever. It's just about putting a little distance in there. So, we're going to try it. We're going to try the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 now. So I need everybody to get comfy. Everybody let me know when you're good and comfy. So just, you know, kind of relax your shoulders. I'm not hypnotizing you or anything, so don't worry about that. I'm going to hypnotize you. And while you're under, I'm going to send you all my PayPal, and you're all going to send me $100. I'm just kidding. Okay, so everybody just kind of relax your shoulders, breathe a little bit, maybe kind of roll your head, you know, just relax. We're just chillaxed here, okay? So, here's how this works. While you're just being quiet, while you're breathing, you know, remember you were stuck in traffic, you got your hand up, or you were, you know, I'm going to keep making this motion just because it's the, yeah, because Sarah says, hypnotize me to not overeat. You know, or that maybe it's, you know, you finally got the election over with, no matter which way you wanted it to go, you finally got it over with, but your family refuses to not continue talking about it. I know, Barbara, so that would be another one of these. Or, you know, I don't know, or you've got to go to the dentist the day before Thanksgiving, or I don't know, something, whatever's making you grip that steering wheel, just relax your hand. And we're going to start with 5. So remember, just kind of relax your shoulders. Again, I'm not hypnotizing you unless you want to send money, and then I will. So 5, it doesn't matter what order you do these in. This is the order that I picked for them tonight. So the first thing you're going to do is number 5. You're going to look around and you're just going to name 5 things that you can see. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to say I see an owl candle holder. I see bottled water. I see a television with some of our pretty pictures going around. I see a clock on the wall. And I see traffic moving. So that's 5 things. So that was 5 things that I see. Does anybody else want to shout out what their 5 things were? While we're relaxing and taking a moment to separate ourselves, to kind of put a little distance between ourselves and the thing that was stressing us out. Okay, the next one is 4. Now I want you to listen and name 4 things that you can hear. So I can hear traffic moving. That's a good thing. I can hear the air conditioner running. I can hear myself breathing. And I can hear, let's see, what else can I hear? Oh, I can hear the clock ticking. So that's 4 things that I can hear. 3, this time just be still. Just be completely still and think about 3 things that you can feel. So I can feel this cold countertop. I can feel my new tennis shoes on my feet, which we're going to talk about here in a few minutes. And I can feel some of my favorite earrings touching my neck. And I'm totally okay with that. So that's 3 things that I can feel. Now take a deep breath. And now you're going to name 2 things that you can smell. So what are 2 things that you can smell? I can smell my shampoo, even though that was this morning. I can smell my shampoo. And I'm catching just a little bit of this owl. Let me just show it to you because it's just cute. It smells pretty good. I'm catching just a little whiff of that little baby owl candle. So 2 things, so just a deep breath. And 2 things that you can smell. And then the last one is, so remember it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The last one is, what's one thing that you can taste? I already knew what I was going to pick for this one, so I had put on some lip balm before we got started, and I can taste the lip balm. But maybe it's whatever the last thing was that you ate. Maybe it was the last thing that you drank. Maybe it's a piece of gum that you're chewing or a mint. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good night, Julie. So what's one thing that you can taste? Okay, so that leads me to your homework. Your homework is high five yourself. So it's hashtag HIGHFIVEYOURSELF. Hashtag high five yourself. So remember when we were talking about hands gripped on the steering wheel, or your family wouldn't quit talking about the election at the dinner table, or whatever, thinking about going to the dentist, whatever it was that was stressing you out, you're gonna high five yourself. And when that stressor steps in your way, you're just gonna put a little distance between it and yourself by high fiving yourself and doing that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method. So again, what you do, the order doesn't matter. Do it in whichever order makes sense to you. But you might not even make it to 3 before, you might do number 5, number 4, number 3. And then your shoulders might relax a little bit more, or the traffic might start moving, or somebody may move on to a different topic of conversation. But you just kind of got that cortisol level, back down a little bit. So you might not even make it to 5. But that's what I want you to do. And thank you, Lynn, for posting the homework, hashtag high five yourself. So that's what I want you to do. Remember that method. This week, something's going to happen this week that's going to be a stressor. Boom, right in your face. And you're just going to high five yourself, step back from it, and start your 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's all you have to do. So when that happens, and when you high five yourself, literally all you have to do is just say, high five. Yeah, if you just shout out, high five, and really will kind of confuse the people that didn't come to the chat, okay? Because if a lot of y'all are just yelling, high five, they won't have any idea what you're talking about. And won't that be fun? That'll be an additional stress reliever because all of those people will be so confused. But you're going to do that, and then a bonus, if you tell us what the stressor was, and then what the 5, the 4, the 3, the 2, and the 1 was. So extra bonus points for that. But yeah, couldn't be easier homework this week. Stress is going to happen. You're going to need to calm yourself a little bit by doing the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, shout, high five. I'll know what you mean. Maybe some other people will know what you mean, and you'll get your badge. You'll get your homework badge. Okay, Sandra is exactly right. We're at the halfway point of tonight's chat. Hopefully you all are going to do your homework. I think it's really important that you do it, especially with 3 back-to-back holidays. We're going to talk about something really fun in the second half, but for right now, everybody stop for just a second and get your drink of water. I'm already watered out for the day, so I'm enjoying a little glass of the cold brew tea that Anne got me turned on to, and tonight I think I have half and half, but I needed just a little something extra, so you all drink your water real quick. I'm going to drink some tea. And now if I do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, when I say taste, you do that yummy, yummy tea. Okay, if you are new to us, this is a 1-hour chat, and the first half goes over the Weight Watchers technique from the prior week. The second half is usually something fun. Sometimes we make food. Sometimes we just do stuff that's fun. Occasionally we play games. There are 388 other chats that you can watch, and I think we're over 600 and something videos. Somebody posted that number. I think it was Caroline from Ireland. She posted the actual number of videos in a chat or something a couple of days ago. So there's lots of stuff to do, but first half is classroom, second half is something fun. Tonight we are doing something super fun. It's going to be a lot of information. This might be the point where you go, whew, I've got to high five myself because Kelly is stressing me out. I'm going to be talking fast, and I'm going to give you a lot of information. Please keep in mind that no matter how fast I'm talking, this will be typed up for you when Casey posts this on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com later this week. Just breathe. You can always go back and listen to this. You can put your headphones in if you think, oh my gosh, she talks so fast. Put your headphones in, rewind, play it again, rewind, play it again. You don't have to get all this the first time, okay? Because I have a lot to tell you. I have a lot of information to get out to you in the next 28 minutes. Okay. So just breathe, just be calm. There are going to be 2 spots, I believe, in this second half where I'm going to lose about half of you, because half of you are going to be like, wait, what? Why are we even talking about this? Or wait, I can't do what anymore? This is not a, you can't do this and I'm doing that, or she's doing this and you can't do that, or whatever. So just try to be calm. Use your 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 if you need to, and just listen, okay? So, the good news is, in the last 2 weeks, I haven't lost 1 pound. I haven't lost 2 pounds. I haven't even lost 3 pounds. In the last 2 weeks, I have lost 7 pounds. So, I have lost 7 pounds in the last 2 weeks. And y'all are thinking, what? What magic pill did you take? Because I want to take it. Okay, first of all, that's not normal. That rate of weight loss is not normal. Second of all, I cannot guarantee that if you do what I'm getting ready to say, that you are going to lose 7 pounds. I'm just going to tell you what experience I had for the last 2 weeks. So, y'all know I've been on the same roller coaster. Woo, whoa, woo, woo. Been on that same roller coaster that a lot of you all have been on. So I had to step back for a minute and just say, all right, Kelly, what the heck is going on? Karen and I have talked about this a lot. Y'all know my accountability buddy, Karen, who refuses to come be live on camera. We'll have to fuss at her about that later. Karen and I have talked about this a lot. Kate, my daughter Casey, and I have talked about this a whole lot. John and I have talked about this some. I've chit-chatted with Gwen a little bit. I've chit-chatted with some of you all through Messenger, just to get your thoughts and your opinions. So here's how this happened. So first of all, I got tired of being tired. Okay. And I knew that this wasn't working. Weight Watchers works, but what I was doing with Weight Watchers wasn't working. So Step one, before I did anything else, before I talked to John, Casey, Karen, before I did anything else, before I decided what I was doing, step one, I went ahead and chose my non-food reward. So before I started anything, I said, all right, when this happens, when I hit this, and I was shooting for 5, I wasn't shooting for 7. But anyway, when I hit this, or if this works, then this is what I'm going to get myself. So step one, pick yourself a non-food reward if you're willing to go through all this. And mine was a new pair of walking shoes. And hold on, let me see if I can get my foot up here. Yeah, I love Asics. And Casey and I went yesterday because I hit it yesterday. So we went yesterday. And I not only got me a pair of walking shoes, I got her a pair of walking shoes. So step one, figure out what your non-food reward is going to be first. Because knowing that I had that dangling out there, I mean, yes, I wanted weight loss too, but knowing that I also had a new pair of shoes dangling out there, yeah, that was a great incentive. Okay, so step one, pick that reward. Step two, enlisted extra help. So before I started anything, after I picked my reward, before I did anything else, I enlisted extra help. So John was out of town the whole first week. So that part was easy because he didn't have to be here to witness any of this. But I sat down and talked with him about it when he got back, what I was going to do and how important this was to me. And of course, y'all know John, he was like immediately on board, immediately supportive, immediately asking, you know, how he could help. So that part was, that was easy. Casey this also coincided with Casey asking if she and I could start some kind of an exercise routine together. So I've been exercising with Karen for 28 years, I guess. And, Casey's ready. The girls are to the age now where she doesn't have to be on them every second. And we live right behind them. So she asked if she and I could start some kind of an exercise routine. So check that off. That was another person that I enlisted for help. So for 2 weeks, I've been walking twice a day, 3 days a week, not every day, not 7 days a week. So 3 days a week, I've been walking twice a day. And before you panic, the morning one on 2 of those days is not long. Okay. Then 2 days a week, I walk once a day, and that's for a longer time. So the 3 days a week, it's a shorter amount of time, morning and night, twice a day, morning and night. 2 days a week, it's for a longer time, and that's when I walk with Karen, and it's right at an hour, and we walk almost 4 miles in that hour. And then one night a week, Casey and I are doing a Danny Go workout routine. It's not really a workout routine. Danny Go is it's a series of kids videos. I'm telling you though, we were sweating when we got done. And the next day, that last video that Alyssa chose for us, that next day, my shoulders were actually sore. So if you don't have any little ones, I still highly recommend Danny Go. But anyway, so we've been doing that. So one night a week, we do a little Danny Go workout with the girls, and then walking. Okay, that sounds like a lot, but it's only 30 minutes in the morning, 20 or 30 minutes at night. But then to the 2 days a week that I walk with Karen, it does take about an hour each time. Oh, thank you for the balloons, whoever sent those. But it does take, that when I walk with Karen, it takes about an hour. But that is only, let's see, hold on, I did the math here, hold on a second. So that's it's roughly 280 minutes a week out of my entire week. But that's 280 minutes that I'm not sitting on my rear end watching reels scroll by, and funny cats and all that kind of stuff, or eating. Okay, so that's 280 minutes a week that I'm doing something much more productive. Okay, step number 3, supplements that work for me. So all supplements, the supplements I'm taking may or may not be a good choice for you. You've got to, Roberta loves Danny Go. Oh yeah, Roberta, which one is your favorite? And I wake up so many mornings singing Danny Go songs. And right now my favorite is bounce, bounce, bounce to the left side. Bounce, bounce, bounce to the right side. We're bouncing inside and outside. Okay, so I won't keep singing Danny Go songs. But supplements, if you need them, that work for you. I'm not saying that you have to have a supplement. I do. I'm 57 years old. I need some things. Side note, I went to my sleep doctor this week, and he said, you don't take anything. He prescribes one medicine. I take one prescription medicine daily. And he said, this guy's new to me. I've been going to this doctor's office for almost 30 years, but this doctor is new to me. And he said, I'm sorry, I don't understand. You've been taking the same medicine for over 25 years? And I said, yeah. And he goes, and you haven't switched? And I said, no, there's not been a reason to switch. And he goes, you don't take anything else? I said, well, I take a multivitamin every day, and I take iron every night, and then I take a probiotic. And he goes, no, I mean like prescription medicine. He goes, you're 57. And I was like, yeah, I'm aware. I'm aware of my age. And he goes, this is unheard of. This is just unheard of that I don't have a list of medications. So, yay me. Okay. So, supplements that work for me, I had to get back on them. I went back on my probiotic, and I followed most of the rules. The first time that I took the probiotic, I followed most of they're not rules, suggestions, strong suggestions. I followed most of them. I still had good results, but this time I followed almost everything. And then I added a supplement for my age that I had tried before, but I didn't take it long term. And it's, believe it or not, it's one that Chuck Norris and his wife take, and it's called, what is it called? Morning Kick or something like that. It works really well for me. It's got things I need in it to, help me kind of get awake. It seems to be helping my joints and things like that. So we're not going to talk about supplements for a very long time, okay? But I just found 2 that work for me when I take them, and I have restarted taking those again. Okay, step 4, and I'm going to have to talk even faster because we have 7 steps, okay? Step 4, I lowered my caffeine intake, and I upped the water. Okay, that one was rough. So the 280 minutes of exercise was nothing compared to lowering my caffeine intake, okay? The probiotic that I've been taking suggests 0 caffeine. That was a no deal that was like a deal breaker for me. I couldn't do no caffeine. I cannot not have coffee, and I'm not wasting it on decaf, okay? So I bit the bullet probably too fast, and I went from 4 cups of coffee a day down to 1. Might have been a little fast, okay? Might have been a little fast to go from 4 down to 1, but I don't recommend doing it that fast, but it's done now. It's over. It's done. The Band-Aid is ripped off. So I also upped the water. So I went from 4 cups of coffee a day, plus I do drink tea occasionally, things like that, but 4 cups of coffee in the morning. I'm down to 1. And then I added a tumbler this size that's an additional 28 ounces of water. So I've took those 3 extra cups of coffee, and I turned them into about 28 ounces of water, of like just water. So I only put just water in that. Okay, that was step number 4. Step number 5, I reviewed what I was eating. So I went back and reviewed pictures, what I was eating as far back as the app would let me see. And I realized that the program that we were on in 2017, yes, that many years ago, the program that we were on in 2017 is the one that I was on when I reached goal. So I was at goal in 2017, and I stayed on goal until 2020. So stupid COVID is what pushed me out of that. But back then we were on the Points Plus program, and I'm telling you, and I'm not saying, so here's where, I said there were going to be 2 places where I was going to lose people. Here's where I'm getting ready to lose part of you all. Do not, I am not saying stop and go try to find the old Points Plus program, okay? I'm not saying that at all. I'm simply saying that when I went back and looked at everything, Points Plus, that old Points Plus program, the weight just kind of slid off. It was a perfect time in my life. I had time to walk twice a day. My mom was still alive. She was cooking vegan dishes for me on Saturday nights. So I was getting tons and tons and tons of vegetables, a lot of exercise. But that old Points Plus program, okay, don't go look it up. Do not go look it up. I'm going on to the next step. So step number 6, in order to prove or disprove what I was getting ready to try, I made a commitment to myself, and I said it out loud, and I've said it out loud to John, I said it out loud to Karen, I said it out loud to Casey, I said it out loud to Kelsey here at work, I said it out loud to Michelle here at work, I said it out loud to a lot of people. So I made sure and shouted out loud, and to Gwen, I am tracking every day, every meal, every food. Okay, honest tracking. If I put it in my mouth, I tracked it and I was honest about it, and I didn't say, oh, that was really 12 chips, but I'm just going to count 8 or whatever. And I didn't, for the last 2 weeks, I've not had any, that isn't really what I was supposed to have or what I wanted to have. So we're just not going to count it, because if you don't count it, it doesn't exist. So I made a commitment to track every single thing that I put in my mouth before I ate it. I did no after tracking. I did all pre-tracking, all before tracking, all of it, honestly and fully. So that was step 6. And I told as many people as I could think of who would actually understand what I was talking about, just to make sure that people, they weren't calling me. They weren't saying, hey, Kelly, did you track that? Whatever. But it also made it a little bit easier when they were trying to help me make some choices. Okay, step 7. Let's breathe, because this is the second place where I'm getting ready to lose some of y'all. So let's just stop for a second. Let's do our 5. I'm just kidding. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, everybody take another sip of your water, because this is going to be a lot of information in 14 minutes. Okay, so step 7, this is what you've been waiting for. This is the part where you're like, yeah, Kelly, I take a multivitamin, but how do I lose 7 pounds in 2 weeks? Or yeah, Kelly, I've got, I don't even drink coffee. So tell me how I can lose 7 pounds in 2 weeks. This is the part you came from. Okay, came 4. Okay, so I just said that Points Plus was where I lost the most weight. Really? Oh wait, Becky says she doesn't like the flavor. Wait, Kickstart of the morning kick. Okay, we'll have to talk about that later. And hello, Becky. I didn't see you when you popped in. We'll have to talk about that separately. So, because step 7's got a lot in it. Okay, so we already said that Points Plus was where I lost the most weight, the fastest. I actually, and Sarah, I'll have to answer that in here a little bit, honey. I'm sorry, I promise I will, but I'll answer that in a little bit. Or I'll probably answer after so that we can get all of step 7 in. So, when I was doing Points Plus, the weight just almost slid off. But again, I had a lot of time to exercise. I had a lot of time. Casey and I were going to Planet Fitness. That was pre-Alyssa and Bo. Life was just different. I'm 7 years older now. But Points Plus just worked for me back then. The accountability of it, which I'll talk about here in a second, was just different. Ate a lot more processed foods, but again, it was just different, and I'm going to explain that in a second. But it just slid off to the point that one day John actually asked Casey, hey, could you tell your mom to stop losing weight? Because, she's getting too thin. Never in my life has somebody said, you're getting too thin. But back on Points Plus, that happened. Okay, so here's what I realized. That after reviewing number 5, so on number 5, I went back and looked at what I was doing in 2017. Thank goodness we have this chat, and thank goodness I have my blog, and thank goodness I've been on Instagram that long, because I could go back and look and see what I was doing in 2017. So even though you cannot go back and do the Points Plus program, don't even try to go find it. I went back and looked at, okay, I was eating this, but I wasn't eating that. Oh, okay, I had to be accountable for this, but, whatever. So after reviewing number 5, I realized I'm pretty close. I've been pretty close to almost abusing the 0 points food list, okay? It didn't work well for me when what was it called? Simply Filling didn't work well for me. That was too much freedom. The purple plan didn't work well for me. That was too much freedom. Seems like we had something else in that mix where it was a whole lot of 0 point foods and not a whole lot of accountability. Didn't work for me. Did not work for me. I thought I was going to enjoy when avocado was 0. No. I'm probably, me and maybe Debbie are the only people on the planet who could eat multiple, avocados and be okay with that. So I was choosing the highest calorie of the 0 points foods list, and it happened to me on Simply Filling, it happened to me on Purple, and it was happening to me now. I was choosing the highest calorie, Purple. I was choosing the highest calorie biggest servings, most unaccounted for options on the 0 points food list. So that's exactly what I was doing. Okay, here's where I'm getting ready to lose some of the rest of you all. Whoever didn't jump ship when I started talking about Points Plus or confused you about Points Plus, here's where I'm getting ready to confuse some people. I am not saying that you all need to do this. I am not saying that you have to do this. I'm not saying that this is the only way to lose 7 pounds. And I'm not even saying you're going to lose 7 pounds. I cannot guarantee that. I cannot promise you that this is going to work. But if you are abusing the point system, and I use that term lightly, I was pretty close to abusing the point system because there were so many, it was just so much had opened up to me, and I couldn't handle it. I personally could not handle it. So here's what I did. I switched my app to Living with Diabetes. I did it. I'm not diabetic. I'm not pre-diabetic. My A1C was not high, but I went ahead and went into my Weight Watchers app, and I can show y'all how to do that after the chat. I went into my Weight Watchers app, and there's a little toggle switch on your account, and I just toggled over to Living with Diabetes, even though I'm not. I will admit, for a couple of days before I started this experiment, I also, yep, and Debbie's exactly right. We're going to talk about that. So, Core. No, Carol, I do. So hold on a second. I'm gonna back up. Core is the one I was thinking of. So Carol Lou said she did the best on Core. Core was the one that had all of this free stuff that you could eat. I went crazy. I went absolutely wild. But anyway, for a couple of days before I started this experiment, I did also toggle on the GLP tracking, like that I was taking a GLP, which I'm not. But that was too much information. It was way too much information. I did not need all that. Okay, so quickly, I clicked over Living with Diabetes, even though I'm not diabetic, and here's what that changed. Okay, so what it changed is I was not, yeah, and that's why I got in trouble, Debbie. So I am recognizing that I was not being accountable for from about 300 to 418 calories per day just because they were labeled 0. Same thing I did with Purple, same thing I did with Core, same thing I did with Simply Feeling, same thing I did. Okay, so just because they were labeled 0, I was kind of abusing it a lot. Okay, to the tune of about 300 to 418 calories a day. I just need to say out loud, 0 doesn't equal free, okay? Just because it's a 0 point food does not mean that it is free, okay? A calorie is a calorie, no matter what it is. And the Weight Watchers program, no matter what it's called, no matter what it's got you tracking, no matter what it's got it's doing, it's simply a guide to help the most people focus on what's best for them food-wise, okay? So I'm thinking this is best for me food-wise, so I'm going to leave it on there because here's what it showed me. Good night, Sandra. The simple math is that 1 pound equals 3,500 calories. That's a pound gained or a pound lost. Okay, it's 3,500 calories. With my unintentional program stretching, so I was like stretching the program to fit, whatever I wanted it to. I have been consuming, for the last couple of years, I've been consuming an unnecessary about 2,000, by my calculations, 2,926 calories per week. I'll just let y'all sit and do that math. So I'm not going to do that math for you, but you think about what an extra, unnecessary, unaccounted for 2,926 calories a week would do to your weight loss efforts. So I mentioned earlier that the old Points Plus program was the one that worked the best for me. After researching the Living with Diabetes option, there were some uncanny parallels that I could not ignore. My 0 points food list was different than what was free back then, because I think we did call them free foods back then instead of just 0 point foods. And again, 0 points does not equal free. So here's what I'm back to with my Living with Diabetes. So my 0 points food list is now non-starchy veggies, eggs, fish and shellfish, chicken or turkey breast, beans, peas and lentils, tofu, and tempeh. Did y'all notice some things that are missing? So I don't have the same things that you do on my 0 point food list now because I'm living with diabetes. Not really, but living with diabetes. So I get an extra 5 points a day to spend. So instead of 23, I have 28 points now. But I have to be accountable for all of those other things that are no longer on my 0-point food list. So all of the foods that I was hiding behind, like yogurt, non-fat plain Greek yogurt, bananas and other fruit, corn, popcorn, things like that, definitely was hiding behind those. Did I stop eating all of those foods? Heck no, I did not. Did I change how I looked at them though and how I used them? Yeah, you betcha. So to sum this up in a neat little package for the next 5 minutes, 1 banana on the Living with Diabetes, which is the plan that I'm on now, even though I'm not diabetic. 1 banana is 3 points. So if I want a banana, I can sure have a banana. Not a problem to have a banana. I had a banana twice this last week. But that's 3 points that I've got to account for. 3 of those extra 5 and 105 calories. That was very clear to me that I was kind of almost abusing bananas. On the other hand, an entire cup of blueberries or strawberries is only 1 point and about 50 calories. That's a huge difference. So guess what I've switched to? Not so many bananas, more blackberries and strawberries. So I didn't cut out fruit. I just changed how I was thinking about it, and I'm accounting for it. Also, 5 cups of air pop popcorn, because you know if popcorn is free or 0 points, my portions kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger because I could have them because they were 0 points. So 5 cups of air pop popcorn is 3 points, but on Living with Diabetes, it's no longer 0, it's 3 points. But now I either just eat 2 cups and measure it, or I indulge in 2 cups of one of the Smart Food, not the chocolate cake pop, but like Smart Food movie theater butter, which is also 3 points, but it's a much more satisfying treat. Does that make sense? So I'm not saying you need to switch to diabetic. I'm not saying that you need to, stop or start or whatever eating things. Just try to be open and think about what has worked for me, what's not working for me right now. So for me, I realized I was abusing some of those 0 point foods. I realized that a lot of those 0 point foods were not 0 to me. They were not free foods or 0 to me. When I did so well on the Points Plus program, I still ate all those same foods, but I had to account for them. So now I account for my yogurt when I eat it. I account for my corn when I eat it. And it makes a difference on the choice too. I account for my popcorn. I account for what else? Fruit. So I have to account for fruit. So I'm not just sitting around eating a half a gallon of grapes. I really have to kind of think about it. And you know what? It's okay. I'm not hungry. I'm doing great. And I've lost 7 pounds in 2 weeks. Okay. So did I confuse the heck out of everybody? Have I made everybody think that they're automatically going to lose 7 pounds in 2 weeks? Remember, there were 6 other steps that went with that, including picking out what your non-food prize is going to be, a lot more exercise, adding some more water. So lots and lots of thoughts of things. I hope I haven't overwhelmed anybody. I hope that you all, if you didn't catch it the first time, if I was talking too fast, I hope that you will put in some earbuds, go back and listen to this again. This will be, as soon as we finish here tonight, this will be available to you here on the Facebook page to watch and listen to. Casey will post it on YouTube here in a day or two. And then you'll be able to print all of this off if you need to here in just a few days from IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. So I'm going to keep up with it again this week. John is definitely on board. He's just on board for whatever. He's literally on board for whatever we decide to do. But I'm super happy that Casey's walking with me now. And I think this is going to be really good. I think it's going to be a great new phase in my Weight Watchers journey. And I hope some of you that are struggling will join me on that one too. But you all have a great week this week. Hope you have, and Sarah, honey, I will type it to you. I'm going to type it to you. Because we've got to wrap up here now. But I hope y'all have a great week. And I promise, Sarah, I will circle back around to you after I pack my stuff up and start to head home, because it is 9 o'clock and I haven't had supper yet. But y'all have a great week if you're watching this on YouTube. And again, that's just youtube.com. Search If You Have an Egg. You're going to click that little button, and the next video should roll over, and go ahead and click, subscribe, and click that little bell so that you will be notified the next time we have a video. But y'all have a great week, and I'll let you know how I'm doing again next week. Good night, everybody. Have a good one. See you next week. Oh, and we don't miss any, I don't think we miss any Sundays between now and the end of the year because all of the holidays fall on either a Thursday or a Tuesday, Wednesday. So we should be good through the end of the year. So good night, everybody. Have a good one. I'll see you next week. Bye.